Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright. Now look, so for this one, this is gonna be about what happened to you when you leave the county jail and go to prison. The process right in between leaving the county jail and making it to prison. Alright? That's what I'm about to tell y'all about. Now, most of the time, y'all always hearing about when you get sentenced from the county and you just go to prison. But don't nobody speak on the little quarantine portion of what you got to go through before you actually make it to the big house. That's what we're here to talk about. Now, before I go ahead and kick this off, right? I know y'all looking like, damn, Mr. Roll Up, you went bald head. You looking bald as fuck. What's going on with you, man? You didn't roll too much weed. Your ass didn't went bald. Nah, baby. It's just the camera angling, you know what I'm saying? But I had got that good ball fade lined up, you know what I'm saying? Had my barber tighten me up, Y'all see I got all my hair and everything. This just how I like my lineups to be. You know what I'm saying? I nah, back to the motherfucking video, right? So this is about the process you take going into the quarantine stages before you actually get to prison, right? All right. Now I know it's different in different states and things like that. So I'm gonna just tell y'all how it go in Michigan prison. I'm gonna tell y'all what I went through. You know what I'm saying? So y'all could get a feel of what happens to you after you leave the county jail. You know what I'm saying? All right. So after you get sentenced, your sentencing day. How do you get a sentencing day? Well, you go through all your court dates, you know what I'm saying? And then they make a decision on if you guilty or not guilty. A lot of the times, you as the defendant, the criminal, you gonna take a plea deal if they got too much evidence on you. You know what I'm saying? And if you take a plea deal, that means that you're guilty. That is exactly what the system wants to see. They want to see a guilty conviction. You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's how you get sentenced. Now, it can go one or two ways. It can go either guilty or not guilty. Either or, you still have a sentencing day. But just say you get found guilty on whatever the case is that you stand in front of that judge for, right? Okay. So your conviction is guilty. Now you have a sentencing day. When you go in front of that judge and get sentenced, you don't know how much time you're gonna get until that judge slams that gavel. Now the prosecution not gonna talk to you. But I'm just using this, just to say, like the prosecution can come at you and say, "Hey, we just want you to do 5 years, and you will be out." Then your lawyer can come right behind it, like, "Yeah, I got you down to 5 years. That's the best we could do. Do your 5 years. And you would think, like, you know what? All right, fuck it. They got me for what I did and everything. 5 years. All right, you take the plea, right? You can go to court. That judge can give you 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Even though your conviction was for 5 years, you was accepting a plea for 5 years, but the judge can give you whatever the judge wants to. You know what I'm saying? So just to say, you go get sentenced. The prosecution and the lawyer, they worked out a deal with you, get you 5 years. You go get sentenced by the judge. The judge might say, "Hey, you know what? I don't feel like that's enough time." Boom, 8 years. You know what I'm saying? Now you get 8 years in prison, right? So you got an extra 3 years more than what you was expecting. And again, this is the judge. The judge can sentence you to any kind of number. But we just gonna say the judge gave you 8 years. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now you on your way to prison, right? This is what happened. You ride out the very next day. Soon as you get sentenced, that very next morning, you ride out to prison, right? Okay, so when you get to prison, right, hold up, let me back it up a little bit. Before you go to prison, right? They put you in a paddy wagon. Is you and seven other guys shackled up together. So it's eight of y'all. They shackle all of y'all together. They had this thing called a chain handcuff, right? And it's basically a bunch of handcuffs attached to a chain. And everybody got to get shackled up. Hands, legs, all that. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, after everybody gets shackled up, they put you in the back of the paddy wagon. You get in the back of that paddy wagon, they slam the door. Boom. No lights, no windows, no nothing. Just all you and the seven other guys that you shackled up with. Y'all all sitting on these metal slabs in the back of a paddy wagon with no lights, no windows, no nothing. So all of y'all just sitting in the dark talking to each other, shackled up together. Mind you, while the drive from whatever county jail you came from to prison, it's about a good hour ride. And you know they're gonna be hitting speed bumps. They're gonna have to stop fast at certain points. A lot of stuff happened from coming to the count, coming from the county jail that you at, going to the actual prison, which is Jackson Correctional Facility here in Michigan. Whenever whatever county jail you come from to go to prison, you go to Jackson. Jackson is quarantined. You got to spend 30 days in Jackson quarantine before you even sent to a prison. So the bounty cops that's shipping you from the county jail to prison, they are going to be hitting speed bumps, things like that, of that type of nature. You know what I'm saying? All right. Nah, with that being said, y'all got this long ass ride. You know what I'm saying? In the dark, you don't know what's going on. They hitting speed bumps, making turns. You and the guys' heads clashing together. Boom! Y'all heads hitting each other. You know, rocking around in the damn paddy wagon. Like it's crazy, man. You know, it's like you feel like you about to die. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know what's about to happen to you. You just in the back of a paddy wagon, handcuffed down in the dark, can't see shit, don't know what the fuck going on. You know, that's a scary ass ride, right? All right. So you finally make it to prison. They take all of y'all out the paddy wagon. They take y'all into the prison. Where they put you at before they actually bring you into the actual prison, it's like it's like the zoo. You know how the zoo got like cages and things like that? That's what it is. It's a bunch of cages in prison. Each cage can probably hold up to about 30 inmates. They put you in a cage with all these inmates, and it's cage at the cage at the cage at the cage. So you see inmates all around the place in this big ass like field. It's like a field full of cement and cages. You can see hundreds of inmates through all these cages in this field that you in, right? With that being said, the toilet sit right in the middle of the damn floor. So whenever you got to piss and shit, you got to do it in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? No type of privacy, nothing. You there for maybe like a couple of hours, then they bring you into the prison. Jackson quarantine, right? When you come in there, you know, they process you by taking your picture, your mug shot. They take pictures of all your tattoos, all of that stuff, right? While they do that, they got a team of officers standing around watching you. It's about seven, eight cops. I'm gonna just say 10. Just say it's 10 cops, right? It's a lot of them, right? So all these cops standing around you. Some of them women as well. Some of them trainees. And you got all these people looking at you like you an experiment. You know what I'm saying? They asking you all these questions, why you did what you did, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And you just like an experiment for real. You know what I'm saying? So after they do all of that, they have you take your clothes off. You got to get undressed all the way naked, not with your boxers and socks on, none of that. Take all that off, right? They take pictures of every part of your body. Yeah, your dick, your balls, your gooch, your butthole, all of that. They take pictures of all of that good shit. You know what I'm saying? They make you squat. They make you turn around. They make you cough while you turned around squatting, just to see if something to come out your asshole. Cause sometimes guys keister stuff in their asshole. And they make you cough a couple of times. They don't just say cough one time, nothing like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Big grown man cough. They make you throw that shit up. So if you got something keistered in there, it's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, you are an experiment just in the processing range. You know what I'm saying? It's real embarrassment. You know, some of y'all might be like, "Oh, I don't care. I get naked. I get naked. You know, in front of people. I don't care. Woo, woo, woo." You know, listen. This ain't no bloopers from ridiculousness. You know what I'm saying? This is your life being put in a balance by a bunch of officers that look at you as their property. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole lot different than trying to flash a group of women trying to get some ass. You know what I'm saying? Like this is complete violation of your life. So after they get every picture of you, every nook and cranny of your body, they take pictures of all your tattoos. That way, if you in prison and you get a new tattoo in prison, they gonna take you to the hole and they gonna put a new case on you, contraband case for getting a tattoo in prison. You be like, oh no, I've been had this tattoo before I came here, blah blah blah. They gonna like, nope. They gonna show the pictures that they took of you when they brought you in, process it, and it's gonna show that you didn't have that tattoo. So that's a fresh tattoo that you got in prison. That's a new charge. More time. So they violate the hell out you because they need to know who you is before you walk in there. You know what I'm saying? After you get processed in and everything, they put you in state clothes. You take your state clothes, they send you to a cell. In Jason Quarantine, it's all single man cells. You know what I'm saying? So basically, with that being said, you don't see nobody and you locked in the cell for 23 hours a day. You can hear guys because it's tears. It's like 10 tears going up all the way up a wall. You know what I'm saying? And stairs to go up them type shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you like going outside and coming back in, you see everybody, but when you all go back in the unit to go in your cells, you don't see anybody. You just hear everybody talking. The cells is the bars that you see like on TV and shit like that. It's a bed in there and it's a sink in there with a toilet attached to it. That is your cell. That's all you got. And it's a real little bitty ass box cell. It's about half the size of your bedroom. This is your living space for the next 30 days. And you only get to come out 1 hour a day. That 1 hour you get to come out, you got to use that to walk around the yard, get on the phone, play some basketball. You only got an hour to make all of that happen. You know what I'm saying? Then after you do your 30 days in quarantine, then you get sent to the big house and start your real prison time. So hopefully, what the process I gave y'all about, quarantine before you actually go to prison, hopefully that scared the shit out you. Cause that alone is a scary process. Before I end this, let me throw this in there too. While you in there in the quarantine for your 30 days, you get called out like every day. So you get maybe 22 hours a day in that cell. You know what I'm saying? Because for like the first 2 to 3 weeks, they pulling you into a room where they got you and all the guys that you came in with. They got all of y'all in the room and they showing y'all tapes of what goes on in prison and what to expect and what to accept, what not to accept, what to do, what not to do. It's a couple of weeks worth of tapes that they make you watch on the do's and don'ts of prison. So this has been your process of what happens to you before you go to prison. So for everybody thinking that prison is a party, just know before you even get there for real, you got a process to make before you even make it in there. Can you stomach something like that? Can hold up, let me bag that up. Can you stomach something like that? Let me know. It's been another episode of Roll Up a Power. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.